Welcome back. This is part 2 in the divorce process. You can go back and watch the other video if you missed it, which I encourage. We are continuing chapter 7 in The Accidental Divorcee by Laura Scott. So definitely pick up a copy on Amazon and click on the link in our bio and description. Okay, so the big stuff. Things that you really need to pay attention to during this time. Some of the best divorce settlements are made within the first 6 months of separation. If one person gets all or more of the assets, it's usually because the other person wanted out, or the other person is so busy chasing that new relationship that they don't act to protect their own interests. The spouse that initially stays in the house usually gets it. This is of the utmost importance if you have children. Look at all of the holidays in the year of your decree. Most standard divorce decrees for visitations cover only Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Father's Day, parents' birthdays, and children's birthdays. Be sure to negotiate every other year on other holidays if you really want them, including religious and other holidays. Easter and Palm Sunday, Memorial Day, Labor Day, and the 4th of July will all be controlled by traditional visitation if you do not stipulate a rotation in your decree. For example, Jennifer was responsible for the children's religion education. Her ex-spouse, Mark, didn't care if the kids attended church or not. And due to the set schedule negotiated in their divorce, Mark had the kids on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th weekend of each month. And because of this, Jennifer often had no access to her kids on Easter weekend. Jennifer was very upset with her lawyer for not mentioning this. And every year she had to bargain with Mark in order to have her kids on Easter. So be sure to look at the whole calendar year and don't forget the traditional holidays and where they fall. Of a special note for women who are divorcing, many divorce decrees that are governed by the state give the child to the non-custodial parent, many times the dad, during the month of July. If July 4th is an important holiday to you, you may want to consider adding that to your decree. And 4th of July is a very fun holiday for kids. Clara, a 28-year-old mom of 2 little girls, did not include this in her decree, and so she had never had her daughters for the 4th of July, all while they were under 18 years old. It created very hard feelings with her ex-husband, and she really wished that she negotiated this holiday at the time of her decree. Look at Social Security and how it pays you if you have been married for more than 10 years. Whether you have worked outside the home or not, this can significantly affect your retirement. Be sure to contact the Social Security office to look at your statement. Also, cover this information with your attorney. Keep several copies of your decree handy. This may sound obvious, but if you split up, shared property, or have children, you will need to be able to put your hands on it from time to time. For example, schools can require a copy of the divorce decree upon enrollment to be sure that they understand the custody arrangements. Also, if you buy or sell property that you retain in the decree, you cannot sell it without a copy of the decree at the closing of sale. If you have assets, write a will. Most people who get divorced do not want their previous spouse to get a hold of their assets. Pick heirs if you do not have children or you do have children. Decide now how you want to leave your assets and who you want to leave them to. If you already have a will, you will still need a new one since you are now a solo act. Change your beneficiaries on all of your legal documents. That is, unless you want your ex-spouse to control your financial estate or come into a large sum of insurance money when you die. Sounds harsh, but you need to know this. The divorce day. The day the divorce is final, it may or may not upset you. And at that point, you no longer are legally bound to that person. It could be a very big deal, or you might not feel nothing at all. Each person is completely different. Ronnie, a 32-year-old rancher and horse breeder, felt really ready for his divorce at this point. After 12 years of marriage, it was a fairly amicable split, and they had worked through the pastor at their church to remain civil because of their kids. When they went to formal court, it was very formal, he said. There were pews like it had in church, and when Ronnie was a child, he felt small in the courtroom. The judge briefly chatted with the attorney and asked if both of them were amendable to irreconcilable differences in the marriage, slammed the gavel down, and that was it. Game over. Ronnie thought to himself, well, we got married together, and I guess getting divorced was the last thing we ever did together too. A new onset of grief hit Ronnie that day. It was so final, he said. He had plans to go out with some buddies to a basketball game, but he had to cancel. Instead, he went to his parents' house for dinner, and it felt good to be with people who loved him, who understood that he just did not want to talk that day. To sum it up, you may be distraught right now and distracted during your divorce, but try to realize the importance of looking out for your best interests. Do your research, ask your friends and family and knowledgeable professionals to support you during this time. Put aside the soul searching for a moment and be sure to put your business hat on and work through these things that have best interest for you. Friends and family may have a lot of advice, and the advice may range from solid input to emotional opinions. The most important thing to remember is that the person who is getting divorced is you. You will be living with these decisions. This cannot be emphasized enough. You will make the final decision regarding what will go into your divorce decree. You can listen to everyone you want for advice and counsel, but in the end, just remember that the decision is your own. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and be sure to check out our Facebook community. The link is in our bio and it's going to be in the description. Its sole purpose is to give you a place to find comfort, which is refreshing when you're staying off social media right now. I'll see you in the next video where we discuss what happens after the divorce. And remember, take care of yourself and don't forget, compassion is something that we often forget to give ourselves as adults. See you next time.